Hello, Captains, and welcome to some Star Trek Online news. I am coming at you on May 14th, a Tuesday. And what do we have in Star Trek Online? Well, we have a new season update. This is the Rise of Discovery. The official launch is today. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cover the new news for today, since this is the launch day, go over all the new things about Rise of Discovery, and then I'm going to go in-game and do an introduction video that shows you where everything is and what you can do with this new season update. All the new content to enjoy. If you are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, watch the previous news video I made. It talks about Rise of Discovery and many new things that are coming with it. So we are here on the Star Trek Online news webpage, and basically this is the big news right here, the official launch trailer, the Rise of Discovery now live. So let's read these articles. I've got them opened up right here. This is the official announcement. Rise of Discovery now live. Captains, I am proud to welcome you to the next story in Star Trek Online's proud history, Rise of Discovery. We are so excited to share this new voyage with you, and we're even happier that we get to do that with Jason Isaacs and Rekha Sharman. We've been running parallel to a Star Trek TV show for the first time in our history, and Rise of Discovery tells the story of a pivotal moment in the lives of both Gabriel Lorca and Ellen Landry. You'll get to experience the events that brought them both to the first episode of Star Trek Discovery, and you'll get to be part of the story alongside them. But that's not everything we've got for you. We wanted to make the experience of commanding a Tier 6 ship, the best ships in the game, a more inclusive one. Now you can start commanding these ships at level 1, and they'll become more powerful with you. Be like Captain Picard and grow and change with your hero ship throughout your entire career. The Discovery Legends reputation is going to give you the opportunity to unlock some of the powers and tech used by the heroes of Star Trek Discovery. And you'll be doing it with all new mark type that you can get from playing the newly returned Defense of Starbase 1, Pavo Dissension, Peril over Pavo, and Operation Riposte. Now you can dive into these former featured TFOs whenever you want and work to unlock brand new rewards. There's lots more in Rise of Discovery, including the shadowy influence of Section 31. I can't wait to see you discover. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the game very soon. That was Andre Emerson, executive producer, Star Trek Online. So here's the official launch trailer. I'm going to mute the audio for copyright reasons. I'm sure you all understand. But here's the video. You can go to the Star Trek Online YouTube channel here to view it yourself. But it looks like we've got a world here, something going on, some kind of icy planet, and a crashed shuttlecraft, definitely Discovery era. Some interesting aliens. I'm guessing those are Klingons. It looks like the Baran, which was Lorca's ship. And some Klingon fighting and shooting and things blowing up, and the Baran blowing up. That's interesting. And there's both of them on the bridge. There's the Discovery and Klingon ships coming in, or at least a Crossfield class. Don't know if it's the Discovery. And I'm guessing that's Lorca. Don't know what's on his head necessarily. So definitely a Lorca infused update here. Going to be a lot about Lorca. And I'm assuming it's not the Mirror Universe Lorca. It's probably our universe Lorca. It's going to explain how that came to be. Although I would like to see something that explains the switch, you know, when Mirror Universe Lorca came to the scene. That would be cool. But anyway, Rise of Discovery, very Lorca entrenched, as you can see. And interesting because it's a prequel of a prequel. We are not just going back to Discovery, which is a prequel, but we are going before Discovery. We are seeing Lorca's journey before the series Star Trek Discovery. So it's a prequel. Ooh, excuse me. It is a prequel within a prequel. So that's an interesting take on this, that they went that direction. Okay, PC patch notes. I wanted to go over the PC patch notes because this will basically tell us everything that is new with this update, right? So we have 2 new episodes added to the Discovery arc, and I'm glad they added it to the Discovery arc because that really needed more missions. I talked about that in the last video, so I'm glad to see that. We have the Plausibility of the Possible, journey to the prior system in the Beta Quadrant, and assist the crew of the USS Buran. So the Plausibility of the Possible, a new playable mission in the Discovery arc. Then we have the Impossibility of Reason, also under the Discovery arc. Captains will continue the storyline after the events of Plausibility of the Possible. Experience the events that led Ellen Landry to become the hardened chief of security aboard the USS Discovery. So that's going to be a Landry-focused mission. So we've probably got a Lorca-focused mission and a Landry-focused mission. Very interesting that we're focusing on those 2 characters specifically. But it will flesh out their storyline a little bit more prior to the series Star Trek Discovery. So those are 2 new playable missions. You go in the game, you can play that. Of course, you can do the whole Discovery or DSC Starfleet faction and play them that way, or you can just go into the game and on any character probably right now, you can just play the new missions separately if you just want to see what they're like. Now, we've also got Task Force Operations brought back, the previous ones that we had played. We've got Pavho Dissension, Peril over Pavho, and Operation Riposte. There is a normal TFO, advanced, and elite difficulties. So these can get pretty difficult on advanced and elite. If you really want to challenge yourself, there it is. But be sure you play as a team. That it takes a team effort for these things, especially at the higher levels. And then the other big thing is we can command Tier 6 ships now at any level because they are level scaling ships. So all Tier 6 starships owned on an account may now be flown by characters at any level, provided they have completed the tutorial experience for their chosen faction. So you do need to complete the tutorial. Once you do that, then you can fly your Tier 6 ship. Level restrictions on the starships and associated reward packs have been removed. Tier 6 starships flown at lower levels have reduced stats and capabilities. So basically, it will match the tier that you're in, but it will grow with you as you level up. All starting equipment that comes pre-equipped on Tier 6 starships has been changed into scaling versions of those items. So now you don't even have to upgrade the gear. It's just going to scale with you. Faction-based restrictions on Tier 6 starships have been altered. And we went over that basically in the last video. So my problem with this again is making the ship scaling and making the gear scaling kind of takes a lot of work out of leveling up a character. It takes that fun of getting a new ship, of upgrading a ship, upgrading your gear, upgrading your ground gear, and making a character that's based on role playing. It takes some of that fun away if it's just all automatically done for you. On the other hand, you know, if you've already experienced all that, maybe it's a quick way to level up and it could be unique and interesting, I suppose. But I wouldn't do it that way the first time. I would play the game the way that most MMOs are. You upgrade stuff yourself over time, not get auto-upgraded. That's my opinion, because that's part of the fun of the game, in my opinion, is the upgrading. Also, by making Tier 6 ships basically scale with you, it has reduced or negated the effect of using any other ship. Why would I fly a Tier 2 or Tier 3 ship, etc., if I can just grab a Tier 6 ship at the start of the game? It makes all the other ships below them not useful anymore. And that's a bit disappointing, because there are some really good ships out there that are not Tier 6 starships. Like flying the Enterprise, flying like the Enterprise A, for example, and that's like a lower tier number that feels appropriate, for this kind of game. I don't know. It takes some of that fun away, and I think that's going to change things a little bit. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Okay, what else do we have? This new reputation, we've got the Discovery Legends reputation, so a brand new reputation. This new reputation will be available with Rise of Discovery and will feature all new traits, kit modules, space equipment, and sets. Earn Discovery marks by participating in the TFOs, Operation Riposte, Peril over Pavho, Defensive Starbase 1, Pavho Dissension. Defensive Starbase 1 will now offer a choice of fleet marks or Discovery marks. Spores can be earned by participating in the advanced and elite versions of the TFOs, and remember, you will need those spores to buy the gear. Discovery marks and spore canisters can be submitted for XP and high-quality gear acquisitions. Some general updates. Lighting 2.0 is set to be the default setting for most computers on first game load. Discovery and Enterprise boots are no longer available to Klingon captains. Some UI updates. Improved a new button to allow players to summon their bridge officers to their location. Improved sorting of the duty officer filter. Added a new option to the HUD to scale the size of buff icons. Added several missing icons in the colony world holding. Resolved an issue that was causing improved scientific readiness to use Federation-based icons. Updated fragmentation torpedo icon. Ability of items that open stores. No longer appear on player trays. Starship emotes will no longer be placed onto the player trays. Some content updates. The Age of Discovery arc has been updated. All non-Discovery captains have all of the Discovery theme missions in one Age of Discovery arc in the journal. Okay, that's nice. I like that. Good change. Makes it feel more whole. This means they have one tab with 7 entries, 6 missions, and 1 TFO mission. The separate Mirror of Discovery arc has been removed due to this. Okay, so they removed the Mirror Discovery arc and just kind of shoved it in there with the Age of Discovery arc. Why don't they just call it Discovery at this point? Just take out the Age and the Mirror and all that and just put Discovery. Discovery missions. Discovery captains now have the plausibility of the possible and the impossibility of reason at the beginning of their journal in Age of Discovery. The Mirror of Discovery arc has been renamed to Return of Discovery, so that's confusing. So now Mirror of Discovery arc is now Return of Discovery. Okay, got to keep that in my head. Battle of the Binary Stars TFO has been removed from TFO operations list and will return as an event at a later date. So Battle of the Binary Stars no longer there. Infected the Conduit. There is now a 30-second mission briefing time before the queue begins. So that's new. Adjusted the position of the spheres in the initial spawn. Resolved an issue that caused Into the Hive and Hive Onslaught Elite to reward 1 Borg neural processor instead of 2. Interesting, they went back and made an Infected the Conduit update. Been a while since they've messed with older TFOs. Don't know why they added a 30-minute briefing time before it begins, but I guess it puts everyone on an even playing field because you would often launch into that TFO and, people would just shoot off and not wait for others or whatever. So I get that maybe. Interesting. Okay, there are some system updates. Elite difficulty updates increase the damage multipliers that are applied to the energy damage of NPCs on Elite difficulty. This increase starts at level 50 and works out to an approximate increase of 40% at level 65. This increase has not been applied to kinetic damage. So Elite difficulty has been upgraded. It's even more elite now. Interesting. Resolved an issue in the Zen store description for the TFO commendation buyout, blah blah blah. Talon Gorilla armor as one of the prizes. Added a new captain ability at level 38, relocate mines. Transports all of your space mines to an area around the target enemy ship. So a new space ability, a new captain ability at level 38. That's interesting. Didn't see that coming. Don't know why. But if you're a mine user, you now have a mine ability at level 38 for captains. Interesting. I'm just kind of reading here, trying to find some interesting stuff. Resolved an issue. So some issues resolved. Chronodynamic armor can now be upgraded. So if you start with that chronodynamic armor, you can upgrade it. That's interesting. Fix some chemosite-laced weaponry damage. Renamed them some things. Resolve more issues. The Federation Type 2 phaser is now eligible for re-engineering. Resolved issue. The following consoles can now be equipped in Romulan Dyson Science Destroyers. A blade of hazard shielding, a shield absorption frequency generator, and ionized particle beam. Resolved an issue that was preventing all Klingon blah blah blah. Okay. So basically, it's many issues resolved, and basically a new ability added, level 38 captain ability. Didn't see that coming. That came out of nowhere. Some UI updates, and of course the mission log or mission journal will look different now, depending on what faction you're in. The DSC faction, it'll look a little different compared to other captains as far as the discovery missions go and how they're lined up. But they kind of moved everything into one category now, instead of multiple discovery categories. So we'll have to see what that looks like in game, but hopefully it'll be easier to follow now. And it'll also hopefully make the DSC Starfleet faction feel more full, because that was one of the problems, is it only had like 2 missions really and a TFO, and you were done, and that was the faction. Yeah, that's not enough. We needed more. Just one little other thing, low buy store and key sales. So right now, from May 14th to May 20th, low buy and key sale discounts. And that's pretty much it. What else is there to say? This is the Rise of Discovery update. Not huge. Not a huge update, gotta say. 2 missions. I guess the biggest work in this was probably making all the Tier 6 starships scaling. That was probably the biggest work here. So that's why we're not seeing a lot of other major changes, because they said that they had to fix about 400 ships, or over 400 ships. So having to edit that many ships and change that many ships' abilities and so forth to make them scaling, that's a lot of work. So that's why we're not seeing like a huge update, is because the work that went into the starships alone was probably really big. And so we're getting a couple of missions that, and then they're just and a new reputation. So a couple of missions, a new reputation, and the Tier 6 scaling ships. That's the big stuff. Otherwise, they just brought in the older TFOs. We do now have at least a normal, advanced, and elite difficulty on them, and that's pretty much it. That's this update. So what we can do is go play all of these things and see what it's all about, and that's what I plan to do. I'm going to make a video now where I go into the game and look at what's new, find out where it's all at, what it all looks like, and then we can see what it's all about. And then after that introductory video to Rise of Discovery, I will go play the new missions. I want to do a let's play of the new missions. Probably I'm going to do them 2 ways. I'm going to do it on my DSC Starfleet faction character, because he is a DSC I do have a DSC faction Starfleet character, and then I'll probably do it on my regular Federation character just to see if there's any differences. So I'll play them both ways and see how that looks. And that's pretty much the plan. So that's the latest news update. Rise of Discovery is launched. Now I'm going to go into the game and see what it all looks like. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.